Good evening and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is December 2nd, 2016. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. Welcome. Grab a project and come sew. It's amazing what we can get done together in 60 minutes. I'm so glad you could join me. We are going to look at UFOs tonight. We're going to, early in the year, All People Quilts put out a list of UFOs for us to try, or they actually put out a piece of paper and allowed us to write our UFOs on it. I did it. I am here to report I've achieved some of them. Some of them I'm going to try to finish in December, and others are moving into 2017, but at least I've made progress. I hope you have too. I know some of you have. Actually, Kelsey, I've heard from you, and several others, my sister, Karen, and those of you who are out there. So keep on finishing those UFOs. Norma has been amazing. She just finished her sampler. In fact, that's one of mine, and we'll get to that in a minute. I also want to talk about the fires in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Just send our prayers out to folks who have been impacted by that. Talk a little bit about the Christmas tree lighting in DC. Talk about my trip. It's been a long week. I cannot tell a lie. It has been a long week. Part of me wants to just go to bed, but we're here, and let's get this going. So thanks for being my motivation tonight. So first things first, if you go to simplycolorful.com, there is an All People's Quilts page that I set up at the beginning of the year, and I wanted to go through the list. So I've got the page here on my mobile phone, on my iPad. It looks like I updated it a few minutes ago, and it looks like the updates haven't gone out across the world yet. So they haven't hit here, but I can remember them. So basically, I put down 12 items I was going to finish, and the goal was to finish one a month. And of course now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are completed already. And then about 4 I'm going to try and finish this month. So let's go down the road. The dog rug, that's my big rug that's actually still up in the attic. I didn't even pull it down. That is not going to get done. That's the one with Allie and Peabody. The camper quilt is number 2. I have pulled it out and put it behind me. I am going to try to finish it. And I'm really excited. I put it away because it was requiring a lot of embroidery and a lot of fussy applique, and I just wasn't feeling the vibe. It was getting a little bit all over the place. And then when I went to the Pinwheels and Friends event out in Sturbridge this year, I found that panel. Remember I showed the panel of the quilt, the campers? This is the middle square, and it came with 6 other squares. You can only see 3 of them if I move over. And the colors match what I was doing on the quilt. So I am going to put those paintings, those fabric paintings, in my quilt too. I'm probably going to cut this up a little bit and put it up in the final corner up there. And if all goes well, I'm going to finish it up tomorrow at our open sew down at the church. So that is my plan. And let's see, when I was going through those, and I guess this is what I wanted to do. I'm going to go through every UFO and work on some of them here, but I just wanted to share them with you. So we have another week of not having a sewing machine here, which is kind of nice. Do you remember these? What were these called? Wild and Goosey. And they're tiny, and I love doing them, right? They're very crisp and clean. I have 3 blue ones and 1 red one. I'm going to put those in the corners of the quilt. Oh, and I should say, if you're out there, send a note and let me know what you're working on. lmarquidant@gmail.com or lynn@simplycolorful.com. So that is my camper quilt. That I'm going to strive to make the 6th UFO that I finish. Let's keep going down the list. That's number 2. Number 3, Dear Jane. I had about 50 squares done. Oh, and I don't know how many I have now. I don't even know what the box is. I did do a few earlier in the year, so I'm going to call that one somewhat completed because I never did commit to finishing the whole thing, but we made progress, so that's good. Maybe next year I'll give myself a number, a goal. The hexi quilt. That one also is upstairs. I'm not finishing that one. That's all hand done. I probably have enough made for a lap quilt. That's moving into next year. Then we get to number 5, my red scarf. It was 12 inches long. I've been doing a little bit on my trip this week, and you might be able to see, I think I did from there. I pulled it out last week when my mom was in town, and KB says she's working on UFOs tonight. Oh, excellent. I'm going to look at those. Excellent. Why don't I do it right now? So here is the scarf, and I have all of this yarn, and I would like to just finish it, although a hat would be nice too. Oh, KB, I'm so psyched. I can't wait to see your UFOs. KB, for those of you who may be new, is my sister out in Pennsylvania. I'm so glad you're there. I hope you've had a good week. Oh, that's not sewing. I love it though. So you may have heard my sister and her husband have a American dartboard business, and they are in production mode. Are you hand painting that, or are you screening it? It looks like you're hand painting it. God bless you. I'll help you when I come out. Look at all those blanks. American darts. They're beautiful boards, I have to tell you. And they run out, so then Karen has to produce like 1,000. It's crazy. Well, good for you. And I can help. I'm coming out on the 20th. Awesome. Okay, so there's the red scarf. I hope to finish this too. I think the only way I might finish it is just keep it to these 2 skeins and maybe leave this skein for a hat to go with it. That might be pretty. So, but if I finish the scarf, I can call the UFO done, right? And I can put this into next year, maybe. Although if I'm really good, I could get it done for a Christmas present, and then it would be done. The Tilda doll, the body parts were made. I completely finished that. That one's done. The Bridget doll. Do you remember this one? This is the Bridget doll that I started in October of 2014. And it's a Marla knee neighbor pattern. I finished the embroidery on the slip, but she still needs shoes and she needs embroidery. So that's what I thought I'd work on tonight, actually. And I pulled out all of the ribbon and embroidery. So I'm going to finish that one. The pinwheel lap quilt, we finished. The purple quilt, we finished. The Nutcracker ornaments, we finished. The Simply Colorful sampler quilt, we did not finish. And this is, Norma has inspired me to try to do this because it is the Christmas season. This is the one, if you might remember, I initially backed it with some olive flannel. And when I went to quilt it, remember it was puckering up, and we took a little pole, an informer pole, and we decided, no, it was worth it to take that flannel off and start over with a better sandwich. Because I love this pattern. My sister Karen Marinelli designed it. I love it for all sorts of reasons. Here, let me back up so you can see it. I know you've seen it before, but it's fun to just play. Ta-da! So that is the 4th thing that I hope to finish this December. And like I say, tomorrow is an open sew all day long. So if I can just really crank tonight on Bridget, work on this during the evenings, during the week, work on my 2 quilts, this quilt and the camper quilt tomorrow at the open sew, I'll have time to spare. So, and do you remember this Scrappity Doodah quilt? We finished that one, which you've all seen hanging And I do like that one, I must admit. An old McCall's pattern. So hi to Carol. Speaking of McCall's pattern, Carol tells me she's working on a McCall's pattern that has 1-inch squares. And so she's sewing lots of strips and then cutting them and sewing them, which is really a great way to do it. I cannot wait to see what you've done. Okay, so let's go to Bridget. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you. I did finish the angel from last week. I didn't put a face on her. I wanted to let the viewer pretend or imagine what her face looked like. She does have the postage card here because we learned last week angel means messenger. And so she's ready for the textile tart swap next week. One of my favorite parts was doing the halo. I don't know if you can see that. It's a thin piece of wire and the wings, and they're just beaded. So I learned I could just put beads right on wire and form it. So that's done. That's done. Okay, let's get her dress off. And then just get to some embroidery. I think I should take it off. Of course, it's impossible. Maybe I should. No, I should. Da-da-da-da. So the Christmas tree, well, let's back up. I was down outside of DC from Monday till last night, Thursday night. Had a good trip, had some good meetings, learned about the suburbs. So I was in the Tyson's Corner, Dulles area, Leesburg, Reston. I know some of you are down there, so I was in your neck of the woods and I experienced it. There are a lot of big buildings there, big office buildings, lots of traffic, I must say, but lots of nice people, and we got some good things done. And what was I going to say? Oh, but it was rainy. So that didn't stop the tree lighting. Oh, Chris Myers. Hi, Chris. She says, just got home, tuned in. Oh, good. Welcome home. Kick your shoes off, rest, relax. Happy Friday. Yay. Pulling out my UFOs. So first off, what we're going to do is roll up the ribbon. I do love ribbon. I'm going to use this darker purple to make a little pleated area on the skirt. And we're going to use some lace. And ding, ding. Who's that? So I'm going to take all these fun things out. Oh, those are fun pastel beads. Hello, beads. You know, when you take these online classes with the dolls, I swear half the fun is buying all the product to make the dolls. But I think you all would agree with that. And I don't have the dark. Well, then I'm going to use the lighter. I'm going to use this purple. I'm going to do it all the way around. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I'm talking out loud. I'm going to pin this and then show you what I mean by doing the ribbon. So I'm going to go back here. And pin this pretty lace. And I might even baste it because then we're going to put the pleated ribbon on top of it. Oh, so the tree lighting in President's Park, right in front of the White House. They lit the tree last night around 4:30, the president, Michelle Obama, and the two girls. and I wanted to show you a picture. Isn't that something? Look at all those lights. And it was misty, just like that picture shows. Not that I was there, by the way. I should say that they were talking about it on the news in the morning, and then I flew out at night, and I thought about them doing it. So that was kind of fun. It's kind of interesting. You need tickets to get to the White House tree lighting ceremony. And they say it's not the holiday season in Washington, D.C. until the annual Christmas tree lighting. Having started in 1923 under President Calvin Coolidge, this is the 93rd year of the National Christmas Tree Ceremony. It's a large evergreen located in the northeast quadrant of the ellipse near the White House in Washington, D.C. I was hoping to get... it was President Obama's final lighting. And they say that he was in a good mood. Here's a picture of them all lighting it up. That must be fun. Oh, and there they are with all sorts of presents. I wonder if those are boxes of air or if there's something in them. My guess is it's air. Okay. So that was the tree lighting. And the tree in Rockefeller Center in New York is lit, I believe. It is the time. I noticed when I was being dropped off last night on the van, I took Knight's limo, which is a shared van service out of Boston Logan. So, and ironically, here's an example of it being a small world. The person with whom I rode, the one other passenger, was also from the same town. So they were delivering us to the same town. Turns out his wife and my husband went to school all through grades, all of the grades. Small world indeed. Okay. So there, can you see that? So we have put the lace on. Now I'm going to, what am I going to do? Put a needle in my mouth. I want to baste it, I think. No, let's just use purple. Purple, purple, purple. Purple is regal. I hope you're all working on something. Oh, there's a new quilting show coming on that looks really fun. It's something like Quilting at Midnight next Wednesday, December 7th. So be on the lookout for it. I saw it come across my screen this morning and I sent it to a few of you. Oh, and I don't need that doubled. Brother. Okay. Whew. You know, when you travel, and all of the chores that you left at home are still here when you come back. And then you have to catch up on work. It is, but I got a lot done today. Including I picked up my new Dell keyboard. I am, with my new company now, I had to switch my PC. And so I got my PC last week and my dongle. You guys know what a dongle is? That's the weirdest named thing you'd ever want to hear. It's that thing that you plug in. I have it over there in a box. Plug into the side. I think it has a USB cable that goes in. and then all sorts of different cables can plug into it. And they call it a dongle because it comes out and it dongles off your PC. I think that's why they call it a dongle. If anyone knows the origin of the dongle, let me know. Or we can make it a drinking game. Every time I say dongle, you drink. But that would be no fun because I don't have anything to drink. So one of the errands I came home to, on the one hand, I was psyched because they hadn't been thrown out. But on the other hand, the pies, we gave people pies when they left and food, but of course we still had a lot of pie left, which I loved. And all of them were left on the kitchen table. And I had made I shouldn't have made 2 pumpkin pies. And there were maybe half of each left. Got home and they had all spoiled. And we decided that the pumpkin mustn't have had any preservatives in it. Like really moldy. Of course, one might wonder why my husband didn't take it off the counter and throw it away. But like I say, if I'd come home and they'd been thrown away, I would have had a conniption, being the sugar lover that I am. But it was all good. The people I met with at Harris Corporation were very interesting and smart. They are I think maybe I had mentioned that it was a weather application that we were going to look at and talk about. It's actually what they call the ground. It's an analytic software piece of code, right? That looks at different data points coming in from cameras mostly on the ground. And they claim that what their software does is they call it picks up the ground truth or the last mile of information. They said the weather service uses it, UPS uses it, car manufacturers are starting to use it or looking at how to use it. And basically what it does is, on the case of the Weather Channel, the Doppler radar and all these things up in the sky are detecting weather patterns and shifts. And by the time the weather gets down to ground level, it actually can change because of some atmospheric conditions closer down that the radar isn't picking up. So the Weather Channel uses all their radar stuff, and then they use this application to to confirm that, yes, it is raining here, but oftentimes what it shows is raining. When it says it's raining, when they're looking up here, it's really raining over here. So it was kind of a cool application. And there are all sorts of implications to learning ground truth. You can decide when to send out trucks. Lots of traffic congestion could be mitigated if we could figure out how to connect that code with like these intelligent transportation systems that are used. It's a whole world out there. And the idea is that for years, we have not spent a lot, here in the US anyway, and I'm babbling, I know, but we haven't spent a lot on infrastructure, and now we're going to. Fix up some roads and bridges that have been neglected and figure out this traffic congestion thing. And there's a better way. You don't have to just build more streets. We can get smarter about this. And it keeps coming back to those darn automated cars. I tell you, our kids, maybe our grandkids, maybe our great-great-grandchildren are going to say, what was it like when you used to be able to drive your own car? Because there's going to be a day when they aren't going to be doing it. Or how about this as an implication? This is a little bit different. I heard a shopping, it was an NPR session today. They were talking about shopping trends and how many people were actually shopping online versus going to the store. And they're saying online shopping was only about 8% of the shopping so far. So you know how you've heard everyone's buying things online. Well, in reality, we like the process of going to the store. It can be social. We go with our family, our friends. It's an experience, right? And it'll probably be a combination of both when all is said and done. Anyway, they were saying, of course, there's all sorts of headroom on the online market, and people like Amazon and Google are racing for it. And Google they've been putting up lockers, which I didn't know about, but I saw at UMass for the first time a few weeks ago. A locker is where, say, a student's in his or her room, they could order online something. Instead of delivering right to that dorm room, they put a locker in the commissary or in the local area, and students can go pick it up. So that's one idea, and they said we're going to see more of that probably. And then they also suggested that these autonomous vehicles I was talking about, the ones that aren't manned or aren't personed, imagine that they're just kind of, it's kind of like an unmanned bus system. They're riding around from point A to B to C to D. And they're already talking about how Amazon is putting often purchased products on those moving buses. And they'll just be moving around so that if you or I, regardless of whether we're Carol in Yorkshire or we're Wendy in Down Under, if we order something, or we're Marquet or Norma, wherever we are in the world, if we order something, more than likely, because they know our buying patterns, that thing will be on that autonomous car a couple of towns away. It won't be across the country. Another thing they talked about was literally whether it's being driven by people or autonomous, but they'll have inventory being driven around, kind of waiting. I picture it like a swarm of inventory waiting for us to say, ooh, I want that. And then they'll deliver it. And they talk about the drones, but that might be as efficient if you've got, it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating. So I'm almost around here, and then we can start to pleat our ribbon. And send me pictures of what you're working on, or let me know at lmarquidant@gmail.com, and I'll go out there and see who's out there. Oh, and I wanted to show you a picture of Wendy. Let's see. Okay. Hope you're out there. Hope everyone can see okay. Let's go to the top here, right? DDR, thanks for the retweet. I always appreciate it. Hey, speaking of Carol. Hello, Carol, how are you? Carol writes to us. She said, so this week, hi, Lynn and FiberCasters. I hope you've all had a good week, she says. She says, I'm not quilting this week. I've been asked to do some sewing for my daughter, and so I am currently deepening a couple of fitted sheets so that when I am finished, the corners do actually stay on the mattress. Good for you. I'm curious, so you're deepening them, you're sewing up farther? Are you doing that elastic thing on the bottom? Remember seeing that? Where you've got the corner of your mattress sheet. I remember doing that, or did I ever do it? I like seeing it done. Take some elastic and sew it maybe 4 inches down from the corner on the bottom and 4 inches this way across, so it goes under the mattress. But that's good for you. Your daughter's very lucky that you're out there. Carol goes on to say, when I get that done, I will be back to finishing the purple table runner I've been working on. And then I have another quilt present to actually quilt. She says the piecing is done, so is the sandwiching, and it's over halfway completed. Good for you. Carol in Yorkshire, England. Yay! And I bet it's late there. Sleep well. Thanks for being there. Oh, how neat. Wendy! What are you looking at? Wendy is in her caravan traveling the world down under with her family. And that looks like a full statue of singers. The question is who and what? So maybe that's a good, here, I'm going to show it again. Who is that and where are they? I wonder if we have a Shazam for images. Do you guys know what Shazam is? Shazam, if you don't have it and you're ever interested in what song is playing, you hear a song and you think, what is that song? Shazam is an app that you put on your phone or your iPad. You point it at the song that you're hearing and you say, you push the button, tell me what song it is. And Shazam, it comes back and it tells you what the song is and who the artist is. And it even, in fact, I believe it's an Apple iTunes product. I believe Apple owns it. You can even buy the song right then and there. Is that amazing? That is awesome. So literally, I've been watching TV. My sister KB showed me this. She always does show me these new things when I hear a song on TV. And if I've got my iPad there, I just turn on Shazam and I point it. It's amazing. So if we had that for images, we could find that out. Maureen in Pennsylvania. Hello. Maureen is being so good. She's not starting a new project. She says, I'm finishing some UFOs. Good job. Way to go. I am hoping that it makes starting new projects feel better if I can finish a few of these. I think it will. Oh, Wendy sent a note to go with that picture, so we may just get the answer right now. Oh, it is. This is awesome. She says, hello, Lynn and everyone. Hi, Wendy. I will be watching live from our caravan on the beach, which is the hometown of the Bee Gees. Ha! That's who they were. I've been to their Walk of Fame and cried like a teenage fan. Oh, I still love them. I will see the house they grew up in this afternoon. I've sent a photo of my pinwheels, which I called As Time Goes By, from the UK show with Judi Dench. I love this caravanning. It's better than I ever expected. Anyway, have a great weekend, Lynn and Fibercasters, and cheers from Australia. Oh, Wendy, this picture makes my day because look at this, everyone. That is inside Wendy's new caravan. And she made that pinwheel quilt. I love the quilt, and I love the stuffy in the middle. And you're out there exploring new things. So let me go back and look at the Bee Gees picture. Of course that's the Bee Gees. See the things we experience? Thank you, Wendy. Oh, happy caravanning. Man, I want some of that good vibe and fun to rub off. Linda from My Quilt Haven has a report out on her UFOs. I love this. She says, hi, Lynn. I've also finished many of my APQ UFOs. She got 10 out of the 12 done. Yay! I feel so accomplished. That's awesome. Next year, I'm going to finish my brown bag mystery. And she says, hi to all the Fibercasters from Linda in My Quilt Haven. Oh, that's great. And feel free to change the mystery if you liked that outer border that we saw. And of course, now I cannot remember who did that. I feel terrible. There is online, in fact, I could go look for that. Congratulations, 10 out of 12. Oh, Siri, I don't need anything. Ah, let's see. Let's see if we can go to www.facebook.com. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Go to, because that you don't want to watch me do that. Go to the Simply Colorful Mystery Quilt Along and check out the different variations of the brown bag quilt. That's awesome. We'll take one more and then I need to get to doing my, okay. Dawn, hi Dawn. Dawn says, 2 photos attached. She says, I am still fussing with this 2014 UFO, one of my all people quilt challenge list. What do you think? She says. Oh, I love it. I can't wait to show you all. She says, I've attached a photo of the single block and a photo of the setting per the mystery quilt instructions. I like the single block, but the setting is way too busy for my tastes. I'm thinking of black on black sashing to set off the block design. Decisions, she says. Happy to be sewing with you tonight. See you at the open sew tomorrow. That is a plan. Oh, it is incredibly busy, isn't it? So here is your block. Your block is beautiful. Every point matches, beautifully done. Then there's that. I will be interested to see what you do. I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Thank you for sharing, and I will see you tomorrow. And I'm bringing this. Please just make me just keep finishing it. Okay, excellent. I'm glad you guys are out there. Let me just do one more thing here so that this is tacked down. Tack. So while I keep doing this, let's talk about Tennessee for a minute. In eastern Tennessee, as you may have heard on the news, they had a terrible drought and a fire started several days ago. And it has resulted in deaths, and it really swept fast. And I wanted to share a few write-ups about it. Just so that we all knew it was happening. Dolly Parton's Dollywood is down near there, and it's where her family is from. It's in Severin County, Severin, I think that's how you say it. Kind of the gateway to the Purple Mountains, or the, here, let me pull it up now. Gatlinburg is a mountain town in eastern Tennessee known as the gateway to the roughly 520,000 acre Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Many of its key attractions offer sweeping views of the neighboring park, including the Space Needle Observation Tower and the Skylift, which is a 2.1-mile aerial cable car that journeys from downtown to the popular amusement park and ski resort Ober-Gatlinburg. Well, houses in, so death toll is up to 13. Let's see what they said. Gatlinburg. Oh, just dreadful forest fires that couldn't have been prevented, they're saying. It's one thing to see the charred destruction that raging wildflowers left this week in the eastern Tennessee resort town of Gatlinburg, but quite another to see it side by side with pictures of those same areas and what they once looked like. So here's a sampling of the before and after. It's kind of hard to see there. Oh, that's too bad. No, they're showing lots of satellite photos. We don't want that. And the Weather Channel wants my location. No, I don't want to give you my location. Emergency officials said at least 700 structures have burned, including a 16-story hotel. They've created an interactive map. The painful task of identifying people killed in the Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge wildfire fire is underway, days after the inferno ravaged hundreds of buildings. I'd like to hear more about. So some people were taken to the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Officials are still investigating the cause of the blaze. They believe it is man-made and are asking for the public's help to figure out who started it. At a news conference held Friday, Great Smoky Mountains National Park superintendent asked people who hiked the Chimney Tops Trail on November 23rd, or who knows someone who did, to contact the investigative team. Oh, what a shame. Well, we are thinking of any of you down in that area and hoping for a speedy resolution. I think I saw on the Weather Channel that rains are coming your way. Just here we get to sew every Friday night, and I just don't want us to forget that we are so lucky. And I know, actually, I don't think very many of you out there will forget. We have a very caring community. And before you know it, it's Friday again. So every Friday I sit here and I think, okay, how could we make this more interactive? How could we have more people participating? Yada, yada, yada. And you hear me talk out loud about how we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, we're going to do this. Big talker here. And then it's another Friday night. So when I saw the announcement about another midnight quilting show next Wednesday, I'm all into it. Looked like she was drinking wine too, if that's of any interest. Okay, so I'm psyched we're getting UFOs done. Okay, let me just sew this down a little bit. Okay. All right. It's a little hard to see, but it's there. Now what we have to do is again using pins to start. So that's going to be pretty. Oh, and I think I'm supposed to just keep pinning. I am. Okay. Problem is my pins might be too big, but let's keep trying it. So I want to show you what it looks like. Oh, and I want to go see if I have Wendy's picture. Our newest patron sent me a picture of herself wearing her Simply Colorful t-shirt, which I love. Thank you to our patrons. If you haven't yet, go to www.patreon.com, patreon.com/simplycolorful, and sign up and get yourself a t-shirt. Be like your own special Christmas gift. Okay. So this is going to take a while, but something good to do in front of the TV. Can you see how I'm pleating it? It's going to be very dark, but I think that's what this needs. And she'll have dark around her neck too. I'm following the pattern. But is it worth all this effort here? Why wouldn't I just gather it? Huh. Why don't I gather it and then iron it? There's got to be a better way. Although, no, you're just being LAZY, LYNN. Okay, and instead of pinning it, I'm actually going to sew it into place as I go. Let's see if that's faster. Oh, who's there? Hey, KB sent me a Snapchat. But I don't think that's something that I can share because I don't know how. Ba-dump, 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 ba-dump. Ba-dump, ba-dump, ba-dump. Okay. Okay, I know you can't see this very well, can you? Hopefully you are working on something right there while I'm doing this. Like I say, when I started this an hour ago or 45 minutes ago, I have to be honest with you, I was ready to call it a week. My boss had just sent me another request. She needed another presentation. So at 6:50, there I am sending her a set of slides. And I was feeling sorry for myself. Why do I always have to work? But really, this is lovely. I'm so lucky. And I'm finishing more UFOs than I ever would on my own. Oh, Wendy, it just warms my heart to think that you are enjoying your trip and your caravanning. That is great. And that you can watch FiberCast from the caravan. How amazing is that? Hi to Dick and everyone there. I hope it's not too hot. Oh, and you mentioned house flipping or house sharing. I think that's a great idea. to consider. I know we still have to work on our caravan exploration. You're out figuring it out now. And then my sister and I will come over. This fantasy land I live in is great, isn't it? Let's get through Friday. Let's get through the next 15 minutes. Forget I even said that. And through the holidays. How is everyone's preparation coming? I announced to Bob last night that I didn't want any gifts. And then I took that back and said, well, maybe one. This is, I think, going to be worth it. You know what I should do? I should knit a row. I think I'll do that. I think I'll fill out the hour with some knitting. Let's see. Let's see if that's like watching paint dry. But first, so that's what it's going to look like. You can see that. So I will just keep working away on that. We're going to finish her. Let's find a picture of Wendy. I loved that she sent it. Oh, and here's a note from Carol. Carol writes about the sheets. Hi again. She says, in this case, I cut off the hem, including the elastic of the sheets, and then add a few inches of fabric to the bottom. Then I have to hem and put the elastic in. When I'm finished, the sheet will be 15 inches from corner seam to hem rather than the 10 inches when it was bought. That's excellent. Good call. And it makes such a difference because they really fit well. And sheets are not inexpensive these days. Okay, where's the picture? I sent it over here. Let's see. Huh, it hasn't come over. Well, Wendy, actually, let me see if I can get it from here. Aww. This about sums it up. Chris, you are so right. Friday it is. Yay. Whew, we did it. We got through another week at the factory. Okay. I will have to show you Wendy's picture next week because it hasn't, I had to forward it over from my other account and it hasn't arrived. So let's work on another UFO while we have a few minutes left. And I even lost one of the knitting needles on this. So when I pulled it back out, I found another pair that was almost the same size. These are 3.75 millimeters, and the ones I was using were 3.2. I got this yarn up in Henniker, maybe a couple of years ago when we were up there doing a quilting retreat. I want to say I got it, I know I got it at the Fiber Loft, and it had the blue tag, so it was 50% off, and I just couldn't resist it. I'm doing, what do they call it? The double seed stitch or double moss stitch. 2 pearls, 2 knits for 2 rows, and then I reverse it. And why I like this particular pattern is because it looks good on both sides of the scarf, and it's easy, mindless type of knitting. Conversely, my mother has been making a double-sided, double knitted hat to die for. In fact, she gave me the link to it, and I will show you. I'll show it next week. I'll put the link on Patreon. I'll send the link to anyone. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It might not be free forever, but it's free right now. And it is amazing. You're literally knitting and purling at the same time as you go along, and you're creating two knit rows simultaneously, and they both have a pattern on either side. It's crazy. Okay. How about we do, let's time how long this takes. Okay. Okay, it's 8:56. I don't have a time. This is slow TV at its best. Now, shout out to Sarah, who is one of our master knitters, and to a few of you, actually, that's right. I had a great picture from one of you who has joined us. Solitude Wool. Has anyone subscribed to that? This is kind of cool. I got an email from them, Solitude Wool. They are, in fact, they were down in the DC area, heading to the Leesburg Homegrown Market tomorrow. And they do everything. They process lots of wool locally. I think they might have their own sheep. Let's see. Let me just read this to you. 3 farmers markets, shop update, and a new blog post. This is breed-specific yarn and fiber. I really miss seeing you at the markets, says this woman. I should know her name, or Gretchen. Gretchen. We're excited to pack up lots of lovely wool, a few sheep pelts, a few hand-woven scarves, and a bit of honey, and head back to market this month for the holidays. This is our plan. Sue and Kim will be at the Leesburg Homegrown Market, and Gretchen will be at the Falls Church Farmers Market next to Sunnyside in the parking lot on Saturday, and the DuPont Fresh Farm Market in our old spot on the sidewalk on Sunday. We're scheduled to do all 3 weekends before Christmas, but rain or family needs could prevent us from making all of them. If we cannot come, I'll post on our website by 6:30 a.m. that we are not coming. Oh, you're going to love these. Tunis Double Twist, Autumn Blue Ridge, Coopsworth Lace. Look at these different fibers. Oh, they're yummy. Montandale Light, this teal and pink pearl. Montandale True Woolen Spun. Well, so anyway, if anyone's interested, look up Solitude Wool. And what I really wanted to go down here. Hi, Delwyn. Nice to see you. And Gay and Sandy, Sandra, Agnes. Of course, Sherry. I am so sorry. Sherry Pickle, whose husband's name comes on her email, so I'm still taking a lot longer than I should to remember her name. Sherry is the one that did the adaptation of the Brown Bag Mystery Quilt. You have to check it out on Facebook. She did an amazing job. She used Storm at Sea around the outside of the quilt. Just beautiful. Okay, so with that, let's see. I think we're all caught up. I think we've said hello, except for Ann McKenzie. She says, I'm working on machine quilting a small quilt for my grandson's fishing-related room. Oh, I love this. You guys, this is what you do when you want the quilt and the fabric to do the work for you. Look at that fabric. And then I'm going to zoom in and you can see the quilting around it. Now, is that hand or? No, good. It's machine, pretty sure. Meandering just like the water. Oh, and that is great. Thank you for sharing that. That's a nice ending to a nice Friday night. I think I'm going to finish this row and probably call it. It's amazing what we get done. It really is. Don't stress out about the holidays. Everyone has to promise me they won't. Just think about the important things. This has taken me, this row, so much for timing myself on a row, huh? Okay. Knitting is soothing. And there we go. We made progress on our UFOs. And we got to get together. It's amazing what we get done in 60 minutes. Again, have a great week. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be right back here at 8 p.m. Eastern next Friday night. So join me then. Bye, everyone.